My name is Harrington. I am a professional rock climber. I grew up in Boulder, Colorado. I actually grew up skiing. I was a ski racer and a gymnast when I was young. And those two sports were really where I kind of developed a foundation as an athlete. And when I was 10 years old, I first was exposed to climbing. It was an instant attraction. And that was when I had that feeling of like, oh my gosh, this is my sport, this is my thing, this is what I want to do. The majority of my pre-teen and teenage years were spent really focused on indoor climbing specifically and becoming a really good competition climber. And I excelled very quickly at that. I became like junior national champion and went to junior worlds and national champion 5 times and started doing really well on the World Cup circuit, getting on the podium, all of these things. And that's what I thought my career was going to be. I thought that I was going to be a competition climber and I was going to continue to do that throughout my 20s, and that in my head was like what climbing was. When I reached my early 20s and I graduated from university, I was just like a little bit like kind of burnt out on it. I'd been competing for a decade. I'd been really pushing my body and training a lot. And also at that time I had joined the North Face team. And that gave me a lot of opportunity to travel more and experience climbing outside of this really kind of narrow definition I had of it. I was invited on an expedition to Mount Everest in 2012, and that really opened my eyes to this whole other world of climbing that was climbing in the big mountains. And that's actually where I met my boyfriend Adrian. I came to visit him in Tahoe in the summer of 2012. And that's where my career kind of all came together for me, but it also like all started to expand.
If I had to use only 3 words to describe Emily, they would be driven, playful, and passionate. She is just so talented, and she comes from this gymnastic competition background of climbing, so indoor climbing competitions. She's since broadened over the past 7 years to really hard track climbing where there's a lot more hazard, to big wall climbing like El Cap in Yosemite, and to mountains. Now, I think Emily is probably the most well-rounded professional climber on the planet, man or woman. There are just so few people out there that climb 514 rock, this incredibly elite level of rock, also big wall free climb, and also excel at high altitude with or without skis.
So I think I've learned a lot in the last few years just about like who I am as an athlete and how my body and mind works, and how I really need to diversify my skills and my activities and try to do a lot of things really well instead of just like really be super focused on one small thing. I have had this goal for a while to free climb El Capitan in a day. I like to go into the mountains and like kind of get crushed. And to me, free climbing El Cap in a day is like the ultimate way to do that as a rock climber.